I, 27M, need to give some background about myself and Anna, 26F, before getting into what happened. I grew up in a very traditional family in Minnesota where my parents taught us that loyalty and honesty were the foundation of any relationship. My dad worked as a high school teacher and my mom ran a small bakery. They have been married for 35 years and never had any major trust issues. Growing up, I saw how they communicated openly about everything, even small things like who they were texting or meeting. This shaped my view of relationships. I had 2 serious relationships before Anna. My first girlfriend Rachel and I dated for 3 years during college but broke up when she got a job in California. My second relationship with Kate lasted 2 years but ended because she wanted to pursue her PhD in Europe. Both breakups were clean with no cheating or drama involved. After Kate left, I focused on my career as a software developer for about a year before meeting Anna. Anna comes from a completely different background. Her parents divorced when she was 8 because her father couldn't stay faithful. He had multiple affairs, including one with her mom's best friend. Anna lived with her mom who went through a series of relationships throughout Anna's childhood. Some of these men were nice, others were not so great. Anna told me all this early in our relationship and explained that it gave her trust issues and made it hard for her to commit. She said she needed someone patient who would understand her past trauma. We met through mutual friends at a housewarming party last year. My friend Mike had just moved in with his girlfriend Sarah, and they invited both of us. Anna immediately caught my attention. She was beautiful, funny, and seemed really genuine. We talked all night about everything from our favorite TV shows to our career goals. She worked as a marketing manager for a local company and had some interesting stories about client meetings gone wrong. Things moved pretty quickly after that. We started dating and within a month, we had the exclusivity talk. She seemed really into me and even introduced me to her mom and sister Lisa after 2 months. Her mom was nice but a bit distant. Lisa, who was 2 years younger than Anna, was more welcoming and often invited us for dinner at her place. Everything was perfect for the first 10 months. We spent most weekends together, went on small trips, and even started talking about moving in together. I met her friends, she met mine, and everyone thought we were perfect together. She would post cute photos of us on her Instagram, write sweet captions about how lucky she was to have found me, and seemed totally committed to our relationship. Then last week happened. We were lying in bed on Tuesday night, just relaxing and watching Instagram reels together. I noticed something odd. She had a story circle on her profile but when I checked my phone, I couldn't see any story from her. At first, I thought it might be a glitch because Instagram can be buggy sometimes. So I casually asked her what she posted because I couldn't see it. Her reaction immediately set off alarm bells. She got nervous, started fumbling with her phone, and tried to change the subject by showing me a funny cat video. I pressed further, asking to see what she posted since I couldn't see it on my feed. After some hesitation, she finally showed me. It was a close friend story that I wasn't added to. What I saw made my heart sink. The story had multiple photos of her in very revealing outfits and lingerie. Some were taken in our bedroom, including one from just last weekend when I was away visiting my parents. Others were taken in her bathroom and even at her gym locker room. These weren't just typical selfies or beach photos, they were extremely provocative and intimate, the kind of photos you'd only share with someone you're intimate with. I tried to stay calm and asked to see who else could view these photos. She hesitated again but eventually showed me the list. There were about 30 people, mostly men. I recognized several names: her ex-boyfriend Mark who she dated for 2 years before me, 3 guys from her gym who she admitted had asked her out before, a couple of her male coworkers who often leave flirty comments on her regular posts, and various other men I'd never heard of. When I started questioning her about this, her excuses made everything worse. First, she claimed they were just old friends from college. But I saw that one guy had our city listed in his bio and she had only added him last month. Then she said she forgot to add me to the close friends list. But how do you forget your boyfriend of almost a year while carefully selecting dozens of other men? The more I pressed, the more lies unraveled. She had been actively managing this list, adding new male followers and removing others regularly. I saw notifications from these men responding to her stories with heart emojis and flirty messages. She would respond to them with winking emojis and playful comments. All this was happening while she was telling me how committed she was to our relationship and how she had never felt this way about anyone before. I confronted her about the messages and she broke down crying. She claimed she just liked the attention and that it made her feel good about herself. She said her father's abandonment and her mother's rotating relationships left her with a need for male validation. She swore she never met up with any of these guys and it was just online flirting. But how can I believe anything she says now? Just last month we were apartment hunting together. We had plans to move in by the end of summer. I thought I had finally found someone I could trust and build a future with. Now I'm questioning everything about our relationship. I've been staying at Mike's place for the past few days. Anna keeps calling and texting, promising to delete the private story and remove all these guys from her social media. She says she'll do anything to fix this. But I can't shake the feeling that there's more she isn't telling me. If she could hide this and lie about it for so long, what else could she be hiding? I haven't officially broken up with her yet, but I don't see how we can move past this. The trust is broken, and every time I close my eyes, I imagine all these men looking at intimate photos of my girlfriend while she encourages their attention. Am I overreacting, or is this a clear sign to end things? Update 1. It's been 2 weeks since my original post, and I need to share what's happened since then. The situation has gotten more complicated than I could have imagined. After spending 5 days at Mike's place, I was starting to feel a bit more clear-headed. Anna had been calling and texting constantly, sometimes 20 or 30 times a day. She even sent emails to my work account when I blocked her number. Initially, I ignored all her attempts to contact me. But last Wednesday, she sent a long email that made me reconsider. She wrote about how she had done a lot of thinking and realized how much she had hurt me. She said she was ready to be completely transparent and would do anything to regain my trust. Part of me wanted to just delete the email, but another part needed answers to all the questions that had been haunting me. I agreed to meet her at a coffee shop near Mike's place. I chose a public location because I didn't trust myself to maintain boundaries if we met somewhere private. When she arrived, her eyes were puffy from crying, and she looked like she hadn't slept much. She immediately pulled out her phone and showed me that she had deleted the private story and removed all those guys from her social media. She went through her entire Instagram account with me, showing me her DMs, her follower list, and even her archived posts. She had unfollowed all the gym guys and blocked her ex-boyfriend Mark. She showed me screenshots of messages she sent to some of the guys, telling them to stop contacting her because she was serious about her relationship with me. It all seemed genuine, and I started to think maybe I had overreacted. We talked for almost 3 hours. She explained that she started the private story because she was insecure about her body after gaining some weight during the pandemic. The attention from these guys made her feel desirable. She swore that she never met up with any of them and that the photos, while revealing, were no different from what you'd see on a public beach. I was actually starting to consider giving her another chance. But then 2 days later, everything changed. Mike's girlfriend Sarah asked to meet me privately. She seemed nervous and said she had been struggling with whether to tell me something. At first, I thought she was going to tell me that Anna had been seeing someone else. The truth was actually worse. Sarah works at a marketing agency, and one of her coworkers, Ryan, approached her last week. He recognized Anna from a group photo on Sarah's Instagram and wanted to warn me about something. Ryan showed Sarah a second Instagram account that Anna ran under a slightly different name. This wasn't just another private story, it was a full-blown explicit content account with over 200 followers, each paying a monthly subscription fee. Sarah showed me screenshots that Ryan had taken. The account had been active for 7 months, meaning Anna started it 3 months into our relationship, right around the time she told me she wanted to be exclusive. The content was way more explicit than the private story I had discovered. There were custom videos, private chat sessions, and even requests for specific poses or outfits that she would fulfill for extra money. When Sarah showed me the screenshots, I recognized some of the backgrounds. Photos taken in my apartment, in my bedroom, even wearing gifts I had given her. All while I was at work or visiting my family. The captions were what hurt the most. She would write things like, "Who wants to keep me company while my boyfriend's away?" Or, "Don't you wish you were here instead of him?" I confronted Anna again, this time at her apartment. At first, she tried to deny it, but when I showed her the screenshots, her whole demeanor changed. Instead of crying and apologizing like before, she became defensive. She said it was just a side hustle to make extra money and that lots of girls do it. She claimed she was saving the money to surprise me with a vacation to Hawaii for my birthday. This made no sense because just last month, she had asked me to help her pay her rent, claiming she was short because of unexpected car repairs. I had given her $800, which she promised to pay back. Now I wondered if that money had gone to her own vacation or shopping. But the worst was yet to come. Our mutual friend Tom reached out to me yesterday. He admitted that he had been one of her subscribers for months. He said he didn't know it was her at first because she never showed her face in the photos, but he recognized my apartment in the background of one of the videos. He had been getting personalized messages and photos from her, even after she swore to me that she had cut off contact with all other guys. Anna's friends have started a campaign against me on social media, saying I'm controlling and insecure. They claim I'm trying to shame her for being sex positive and entrepreneurial. One of them even wrote a long post about how I'm exhibiting toxic masculinity by having a problem with my girlfriend's digital content creation. But this isn't about the photos or videos. It's about the lies, the manipulation, and the complete disregard for our relationship. She didn't just hide this from me, she actively used our relationship, our private moments, and our shared spaces to create content for other men. All while pretending to be committed to building a future together. I've blocked Anna on everything again, but her friends keep creating new accounts to message me. They say I'm overreacting and that she really loves me. But how can you love someone while systematically lying to them and violating their trust? I feel like I never really knew her at all. Update 2. Just when I thought I had heard the worst of it, things took an even darker turn. After my last update, I decided to completely cut contact with Anna and focus on healing. I blocked her backup accounts, asked my workplace security to keep an eye out for her, and even started going to a different gym to avoid any chance encounters. I needed space to process everything that had happened. Last weekend, I was grabbing coffee at a small cafe across town, specifically choosing a place far from our usual spots, when I ran into Anna's sister Lisa. I initially tried to avoid her, but she approached my table with a guilty look on her face. Unlike Anna's friends who had been harassing me online, Lisa seemed genuinely apologetic. We ended up talking for over 2 hours. What she revealed made everything I'd discovered seem like just the tip of the iceberg. Apparently, this wasn't Anna's first time doing this. She had a pattern, a well-established routine that she had perfected over several relationships. Lisa showed me screenshots of conversations from 2 years ago when Anna's ex-boyfriend Mark, the same one who was on her close friends list, had discovered similar accounts. The pattern was identical. She would start with innocent-seeming private stories, then escalate to more explicit content, all while maintaining a committed relationship. She had done this to Mark, and before him, to another boyfriend named Chris. But it got worse. Lisa admitted that some of these men weren't just online subscribers. Anna had been meeting up with several of them for private photoshoots. She would tell her boyfriends she was going on girls' trips or visiting family, but instead, she would meet these men in hotel rooms or their apartments. Lisa knew this because Anna had used her as a cover story several times, begging her to lie if anyone asked about her whereabouts. The most disturbing part was how calculated it all was. Anna had a system. She would carefully select men who had something to lose if they exposed her, married men, men in positions of power, or men who worked with her professionally. This way, she ensured their silence and continued payments. When I asked Lisa why she hadn't warned me, she broke down crying. She said she had hoped Anna had changed. When Anna first started dating me, she told Lisa she was done with her old lifestyle because she had finally found someone she truly cared about. Lisa believed her because Anna seemed different with me, more invested, more genuine. Lisa also revealed something that explained Anna's behavior pattern. Their father hadn't just cheated on their mother, he had maintained multiple secret families and had been living a complete double life. When this came to light during their childhood, instead of being traumatized by it, Anna had been fascinated by how he managed to keep it hidden for so long. She would often talk about how clever he was, how he used people's trust against them. I showed Lisa all the messages I had received from Anna's friends attacking me. She wasn't surprised. Apparently, Anna had done this before too, mobilizing her friends to harass her exes when they discovered her secrets. She would paint herself as the victim, claiming her partners were controlling and abusive. Several of her friends didn't even know the full truth. They genuinely believed she was just posting harmless photos for extra money. The conversation with Lisa finally gave me the closure I needed. It wasn't just about the betrayal anymore. Anna was actually proud of her deception. She saw it as a game, a way to prove she was smarter than everyone else. The sweet, vulnerable girl I fell in love with was just another calculated performance. Before leaving, Lisa warned me that Anna wasn't done yet. She had more backup plans, more ways to try to get back into my life. She advised me to be careful because Anna didn't handle rejection well, especially from someone who had discovered her secrets. After talking with Lisa, I went home and found several new message requests on my social media, all from accounts I didn't recognize, but the writing style was unmistakably Anna's. She was still trying to reach me, still trying to spin her web of lies. But now, thanks to Lisa, I could see through all of it. Update 3. It's been 3 months since everything fell apart, and I'm finally ready to share what happened after my last update. The situation has escalated to a point where I've had to take legal action. After learning about Anna's history from Lisa, I thought blocking Anna everywhere would be enough, but I was wrong. Over these past months, Anna found increasingly creative ways to get to me. She created over a dozen fake social media accounts to message me. Some pretended to be potential clients for my freelance work, others claimed to be old college friends wanting to reconnect. She even made a fake LinkedIn profile and tried to connect with my boss. 2 weeks ago, things took a more serious turn. I was in a meeting at work when my colleague told me someone was asking for me at reception. It was Anna, crying and holding a stack of papers. She claimed she had been in therapy for the past 2 months and had realized the depth of her issues. The papers were supposed to be her therapy notes and diagnoses, showing how she was working on her childhood trauma and attachment issues. I asked security to escort her out, but she made a scene, screaming about how I was abandoning her just like her father did. My coworkers were uncomfortable, and my boss had to get involved. Later that day, I discovered she had also sent emails to several of my team members, telling them private details about our relationship and painting me as the villain. The next day, she showed up at my apartment building. I wasn't home, but my neighbor told me she had spent hours sitting in the lobby, telling everyone who passed by that she was my girlfriend and was worried about me. When the building manager asked her to leave, she claimed she lived there and that I was keeping her out of her own home. What really pushed me to take legal action was when she started contacting my family. She somehow got my parents' address and sent them a long letter about how I had broken her heart and ruined her life. She even reached out to my sister on Instagram, sending her the private photos she had taken in my apartment as proof of our intimate relationship. Lisa has been keeping me updated about Anna's behavior. Apparently, she's still running her explicit content accounts, but now she's added a new twist. She's using our breakup as content. She posts crying videos about heartbreak and betrayal, never mentioning what she did wrong. Some of her subscribers have even tried to find me online to harass me. I finally filed for a restraining order last week. The documentation from work security, my building manager, and all the messages helped make a solid case. The judge granted a temporary order, and we have a hearing scheduled for a permanent one next month. Some of our mutual friends are still taking her side. They say I'm cruel for not giving her another chance, that everyone deserves forgiveness. Mike is the only one who stood by me completely. He and Sarah helped me document everything and even offered to testify if needed. I've moved to a new apartment in a different part of town. I changed my phone number and created new social media accounts. My company was understanding and allowed me to work remotely for a while until things calmed down. I'm not bitter about what happened, but I'm definitely more cautious now. This experience taught me that sometimes the most dangerous people are the ones who seem the most vulnerable and genuine. I'm focusing on rebuilding my life and my career, and for the first time in months, I feel like I can breathe again. To anyone going through something similar, trust your gut. When someone shows you who they really are, believe them the first time. No amount of love or patience can change someone who takes pride in deceiving others.